Hey, what's up, y'all? Shawn here, doing a quick vlog today. Been a little inconsistent with my vlogs lately. I just ran a certification course that we do 2 or 3 times a year here in New York City, so that really knocked me out for a week, and I was going through a little bit of a recovery. But back at it. Today, I wanted to do a quick video talking about one of the concepts that we talk about in MoveNat, actually, natural movement training. For those who don't know, I'm a MoveNat instructor, and it really is the core of a lot of my training these days. And one of the principles that MoveNat promotes is this idea of not being specialized, especially in your training. So unspecialized is what they term it. But I wanted to break down what this was and why I think it's so important to your training. Um, there's a lot of reasons to be a specialist at certain things. If it comes to your work, you want to be exceptionally good at your work, and so you want to really hone and fine tune your craft. If you're an athlete, you want to be exceptional at your athlete, so you want to be a specialist, a master of your sport. But when it comes to your training, this actually can be counterproductive to your goals, is specializing. So there's a lot of people who they have their thing. And so your thing might be weight training, your thing might be kettlebells, your thing might be calisthenics, your thing might be yoga. And it's okay that you have a thing that you're really into and that gets you energized and inspired. And if it's what is motivating you to work out, it's a great thing. So I'm not trying to knock people for having interests and really being excited about certain modalities of training, but really, you don't want to be pigeonholed into just doing that one thing. And this is something that really hit home for me through my MoveNat training. This idea of trying out new things, bringing different kinds of training into your personal sessions, exploring how your body moves in different ways, not being rigid and saying, oh, weights are not for me, or strength training is not for me, or yoga and mobility is not for me. Don't be rigid, but rather to have this flexibility. And the reason why this is so key is if it's not obvious yet, when you become specialized in one thing, then you're really just getting good and challenging your body with a certain stimuli, in one kind of singular capacity. And so what happens is that the body will adapt, and you will hit plateaus quicker, and you won't stimulate the body to become its most strongest and fittest version of itself. Also, too, you can run the risk of becoming injury prone if you're doing a lot of the same kind of training. So for instance, there was a long period where I was doing kettlebells like only exclusively, and I was doing that for a few years, and I was just teaching it. It consumed everything in my training, and I got into a couple of injuries. I mean, kettlebells are amazing, and I still use them, and I think everyone should use kettlebells. But when I was just using it exclusively like that, I was getting tight in certain areas of my body, and I wasn't opening up those areas, and I wasn't doing the kind of restorative practice that I needed. Kettlebells, especially the style that I do, hard style training, can be very demanding on the body and the nervous system. And so, yeah, so you become prone to plateaus, prone to injuries when you're training very singular. And, for athletes, they're going to train singular because they're trying to reach some athletic accomplishment. But you see athletes all the time getting injured because either they're in the same plane of motion, or they're using a dominant leg, or they're doing repetitious movement of the same kind of stuff. Like jumping is great for you, but when you're jumping, nonstop in a basketball game, and accumulating those jumps over decades, and jumping in these, shoes on this flat surface, it has wear and tear on your knees and your ankles, and you see a lot of that manifest in basketball athletes. So when you switch up, when you're doing different types of things, though, and you become unspecialized, now you're stimulating your body in different ways all the time. And I'm not saying to always do something different per se in your workout. You could do that and have good amount of success. But what I'm saying is that you should bring in different types of training into your protocol. And every couple of weeks, when you're redesigning your program, thinking of new ways to challenge your body, and think of your body, think of your training as in phases. It doesn't always have to be hard, 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 or really soft, soft, and gentle all the time. It should be a mix. It should go back and forth. There should be periods where you're in really heavy, intense training, strength training, putting on the muscle mass, all that good stuff. And then there's periods of restoration and getting your joint and your ligaments to be moving well again and getting the mobility increase. And you could do them at the same time, but you also can have like programs designed specifically in these periods. We usually say somewhere between like 4 to 12 weeks, is where you should be switching up your program. So think about that. But also too, like if you're a yogi, for instance, if you love doing yoga, I'm not saying to not do yoga ever again. In fact, you could probably continue to do yoga every day. But if you're just doing yoga to the point where you're not allowing for anything else to come in, you're not allowing for that strength training to happen or the weight training to happen, or you're not allowing yourself to explore things like MoveNat or Animal Flow or parkour or whatever, different other types of movement or dance or something like that, then it's going to cause issues. Even the strongest of athletes, even the most flexible of athletes, even the star dancers, they all are gonna wear and tear on their body eventually. So being unspecialized is key. And again, if you're trying to think about how to put this into your programming, just get out of your comfort zone a little bit, try something new, pick up a different tool, see what you can gain from it. If you've been using kettlebells forever, maybe pick up some Indian clubs, or go on a suspension trainer, or pick up some dumbbells and barbells, and start exploring those things too. So in any case, I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to find out more information about me or the work that I do, you can check me out. My personal website is shawngarcia.com. And you can also check out the organization and business that I run, which is called Revolutionary Fitness. You go to revolutionaryfitness.org. I teach classes here in New York City a few times a week, and I do some personal training still. So if you're interested in working with me, let me know, and I'll connect with you. All right? Peace.